Shalom, Israel, shalom. I want to welcome everyone to King James Bible University. I'm Elder Michael Johnson with the Lost Sheep of Israel. We're going to be coming to you today. I normally don't do teachings on the day, but I've been going through a lot of, speaking with a lot of different people. We're going through a lot of different things, and a lot of people come to find out that they go through, going through these teachings where you have people from different camps, churches, you name it, where they continually going to outside resources and other things to validate the Most High. So I thought it would be important because I needed to address that, because for the simple fact is he don't need no one validating him. He don't need no one to validate what he states. He don't need nobody to prove something in an outside resource to prove what he says. Everything that he stated, he can prove that within his own scriptures. He don't need no help from none of us. Because, I heard from, a sister even today, and we heard from many other ones before, what they get into and how people try to prove scripture by going to outside resources. This is the craziest part that people really get mixed up on, and I really don't know. How do they do it? How do they get mixed up in it? Because the Most High don't need no one to validate his word. Because he said it, it acts like they have switched it to where if they validate it, then what the Most High said must be true. This is what people are doing. This is part of the problem. This is why people going on and just making these statements to where they saying, okay, we're gonna tell you what, we can go here and validate this by this book. We're gonna tell you what, we can validate this by this outside book. This is nonsense. Total nonsense. They use these outside resources just to validate anything to where if they can twist it to their doctrine. So we're going to look at some scriptures because the Most High don't need no validate. Validating the Most High, you need to understand he never needs validating from nobody of us. He said for us to eat the roll of the scriptures, not of some other book, of a man or a woman's thoughts. He told us to eat the scriptures. And if we are to eat those scriptures, we need to eat that whole roll and understand what he's saying. And let's go to Ezekiel 3:1. We're going to pick it up right there. It says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll and go speak unto the house of Israel. So he's telling us clearly we need to eat this roll, and this roll is of the scriptures. We are born of a woman. You are from the Son of Men. We are found in the word of the Most High. So you are to eat the whole roll on what he's speaking. And we need to take this to the house of Israel. Understand what he's saying? Let's look at it a little bit more. Verse 2. I will open my mouth and he caused me to eat that roll. So as we open our mouth, we need to eat that roll that he gave us. That's his word. His word is in this book. This is what we are to have in our bellies. This is what we have to have in our souls. This is the sweetness as like the honey. See, and if you drop down to verse 4, let's look at that, because it drops down one. It says, and he said unto me, son of man, go get thee unto the house of Israel and speak with my words unto them. Did y'all catch that? Understand, he said, speak with my words. See, not some words of some other man. He's making himself pretty clear here. See, we using his words to go speak to who? Go speak to them. Go speak to the house of Israel. Because he makes that clear. Get thee unto the house of Israel and speak with my words. He didn't say use any kind of commentary. He didn't say use any kind of concordance and different things like that, or go read some book outside and then come speak to his people. He said, once we ate his roll, we go to his people and speak to them what he said. Are we all on the same page here? We need to understand what he said. See, these are his words. Verse 5. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech and of a hard language, but to the house of Israel. See, I missed it. Let's look at this again. For thou art not sent to a people of a strange speech. Why are you saying this? Because his laws is written on Israel, written on their heart. All you got to do is go to Jeremiah 31:33. He explains this perfectly to you. So thou not art sent to a strange people, strange speech. How? Because when you hear his words, you know his voice and you follow him. This is what he said. But what you want to do, you want to go learn somebody else's speech. So when he talks to you, that's a foreign language to you. You don't get it because you being of the flesh. He said, this is the house of Israel. We're going to deal with that in a little while. But these are the ones of the strange speech that's hard to hear. But Israel meaning what? These people have and use Strong's Concordance. They use the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. They like to go to that book of Timbuktu. They like to use all these things to validate what the Most High said. And the Most High never said it. Because they trying to do it and twist it in a doctrine that they want you to believe that's coming from the Most High, and he never said that. What books can you use? And which ones can you not use? See, making you search for guys of wood and stone, this is what they're going to do. They're going to continue to do this and continue to go through these type of doctrines and teachings that don't have nothing to do with the Most High. Not many people of strange speech and of a hard language whose words thou canst understand. Surely I have sent thee to them. They would have hearkened unto thee. You see that? See, these who can't understand the language which I speak and will understand what I say. See, using precepts, some don't even understand what I'm saying when I use that. See, using precepts, not some commentary book. Precepts shows you what you need to do. See, giving you a false understanding, you can do that all day by not using precepts. This is the difference. This is the understanding we need to get with everybody. This is why some people have these problems. This is why people really don't understand what's going on at all times. Because they like to use relationals and not use precepts on how you to go through his word. But the house of Israel will not hearken unto thee, for they will not hearken unto me. For all the house of Israel is impudent and hard-hearted. What is it saying? You people are being cocky and bold, hard-hearted, hard-headed, same thing. The Most High uses one book, and you are to read that one book, and you are to go through that one book, get that understanding, and to where you can get the precepts and go through it. He's clear. But we want to hearken unto other things. We want to take the easy way out. We want to go to people who this is not even written to. We like to go through their books, and we want to see what they saying in their book to where we can adjust it to what we're saying. Makes no sense. How you going to sit there and understand what somebody else wrote and it's not even written to them? We need to read that one book, understand that one book. Everybody like to sit there and they like to say that all the time. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what. Let's go to John MacArthur commentary. He said, seek ye out the one book. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord. You see, that's not plural. That's singular. plural. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Read that one, not one of these. You see how that goes? And then it flips over. These. Those are books in books. Inside one book. None should want her mate. So none you cannot join to it. This one book, not some book that some man wrote for himself to help you understand that one book. For a charge, and they like to charge for this course, charge for that course. They want to get you into this commentary, get you in that commentary. And he said, not one of these. He said, seek ye out the book of the Lord and read. Not one of these, not one of those books within that book will fail. He's making that clear. None shall want her mate. Don't mate nothing to this book. Don't try to sit there and tell me we can mate something to this book. You can go in stores today and they have these Bible stores all over the place. And they have book behind book behind book behind book behind book. Trying to join something to this one book. The Spirit was upon these men that penned these books within the one book. Had a spirit of the Most High on them and the ones who gathered. Who gathered them? He did. And it says, and his spirit hath gathered them. You see how clear, this is just clear scripture. The one book contained books. It says not one of these. So if it's these, it's books inside that book, but then who gathered them? It says, in his spirit have gathered them. What part are we missing here, folks? See, we have people who want to play church. We have people who want to play with God. We have people who want to sit there and say they know God. And the first thing they do, they go run to a commentary. Let's see what this says. And he had cast the lot of them in his hand, divided it unto them by line. Line upon line, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and they shall possess it forever. For the generation to generation shall they dwell therein. Period. Are we missing something? Are we missing anything? We have camps in churches today running you from book to book to book and running you into a false doctrine. This is all day long. They're running you from book to book into false doctrine. And then got the nerve to tell you they running precepts. Out of the one book, but they go into other books. These is what going to continue to why Israel is so hard-hearted and stiff-necked. Because we don't know how to use the one book. The one. All we need is one book. One. And we want to go see what this commentary says, and this commentary says, and this commentary says. From somebody, and it's not even written on them. Malachi 3:16 says, then they should fear Yahweh, speak often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it. And the book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh, and that thought upon his name. What is it saying? The book of remembrance is all this book is about. We love him, and we have to remember the words, which is what we're doing, because it's a covenant that we have with him. So this book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear Yahweh. So we can remember what's in our contract. This one book. This is what this is talking about. This one book, we can remember what's in the contract because we got to remember what's in there to make sure that we follow in the contract. And many of us can't remember it because we only want to remember what happened today and not happened yesterday and before then. We hold on to what happened today. And it's telling you plain as day. And Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and the book of remembrance was written before him. To who? For them. To what? That feared Yahweh. Just plain and simple. Plain and simple English. This one book was written to them. Let's make it a little bit clearer because I don't think we understand this. He goes on in Psalms 106:45, and he remembered for them his covenant and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. So we are to remember the covenant, not how this goes on and goes for this and goes for that. See, purchasing books and that's making all this nonsense, everyone have written books to help you understand what the Most High is saying. See, this is just plain nonsense because he's telling you what he's saying in his book. But you rather go to somebody and see somebody what they done said in their book to see if you can understand what he's talking about in his book. And it's not even written for them. This is remembrance of his covenant. And we need to learn to understand how to remember his covenant. It's in the book. Study it. See, this is just plain craziness to where we have people has teaching and teaching and teaching and teaching, and they running you to every. They'll sit there and tell you, you can get this commentary, and we use this commentary, and we use this one, and these are some of the best commentaries you can get, and we use this book and this book. Really? You're going to buy all these different books, but as you get in these different books, and you think you gaining knowledge. What are you gaining knowledge of? Oh, because this person is wise. Oh, this person is wise. You know, they write a good book. Same as I tell people all the time. I'm always offered to write books. Always offered, you should do this, you should do that. You can make this money doing this, you can make that money doing that. He told me to teach the word, not to go write a book. Oh, I'm gonna tell you what, Michael, we can make, at least $3-4 million a year. All you have to do is give us the precepts for each of these books. You can separate them and say, these are the precepts to Genesis. And we can go march through all the books. Do you know how much money you can make from that? Really? Do you know how much non-common sense that made? Non-common sense. He told us, teach the word, not write a book to sit there to sell his word for money. I'm going to give you pastors according to my heart to feed you with knowledge and understanding. Not give you knowledge and understanding to where you can write this book to sell to my people. If my people want to learn the precepts, then guess what? Then you need to develop something to where they can go in there, they can learn it, and they can get it for free. Because I pay you. You work for me. See, this is how he structured that. So if he structured it that way, who have a business of sitting there charging you for his word? Who have the right to sell you his doctrine? Because the ones that's doing it, those are not his. We're going to dig into more of that. Because he made that plain and simple. When you look at Ecclesiastes 12:12, it says, further by these, my son, be admonished for making of many books. There is no end in much study is weariness on the flesh. He's making himself clear. writing book after book after book after book. There is no end to this. And why he said that? Be admonished for this, for doing that. As if we need this new book to get closer to him. Read this book or read that book. Nothing according to precept, just thoughts and perceptions of what they think. Theologies and everything else outside the book itself. He said, be admonished for the making of many books. Study this book and this only book. And what they do, they want to study other books. There is no end to those. You can go in the Bible bookstore and you see it. It's no end to those. You have these saying this and those saying that, and all over some God, knowing what you want to study this one. This guy is closer to God. How do you know? Is he using the one book, or is he writing the book? Oh, I'm gonna tell you what. We had this. He's this powerful guy, and he has 300,000 people following him. He got 50,000 people following him. He got 20,000 people following him, and he really know how to get in touch with God. He is a man of God, really. And he writing you books on how to get closer to the Most High, and the Most High tell you how to get closer to Him in His own book. Are we serious? This is crazy. This is plain nonsense. They like to sit there and play these stupid games. They sit there and just make money off of you. Just make money off of you. Just make money off of you. I was just offered a 7-figure deal to do a precept book. Nonsense. Why is nonsense? I don't work for them. I'm a servant of the Most High. His word is not a whore. His word is His. What you gonna sell it for? And just whore myself out there? People, oh, donations. Oh, tithes. Study the one book. You need help? That's what he got these preachers for. The ones who hold on to the Most High. They're going to teach you those precepts of how you going to get it through there. Money it's not about money. It's about getting to that other side. See, we got to go through that Red Sea, but who gonna make it? Who's gonna make it through that Red Sea? Because he took them all out the first time. He said he ain't doing it that way no more. Money is not worth eternity. Yeah, I missed it. Money is not worth eternity. When you buying books, you helping yourself to be more dumber than knowing Him. How do we see that? Let's go to Genesis. Let's look at that real close. Genesis 3:5. It says, for Yahweh do know that the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. What is it saying? It's the same thing that the devil offered to Eve, and Adam ended up eating it too. The same thing to do what? To get the knowledge. So you go into the outside book thinking you get the knowledge because what you believe you're going to know much more than what you think you're going to know, and you're not going to know nothing. This is the same thing. So when you think you have that knowledge and you believe in what you think that you're getting out the book that you're reading don't have it. And then you got some teaching the Bible have errors, so you need me so I can take you through all the places to where you can get the understanding. So if you stay with me, I can take you through the errors of the Bible and teach you what is true. So I need you to rely on me. This is what they teach. How you going to rely on them and then they say the Bible is lies? If you don't believe the book, shed it. Not one word in there is a lie. If you don't see nothing wrong with this doctrine, that's what they're saying. But do you believe this or do you believe that? So when you sit there and you're drove and behind this, they end up getting checked because they thought they was going to be gods because they were going to be smarter than God. This is what got them put out the garden. Genesis 3:24, it tells you, so he drove them out. Why? Because they thought they was going to be gods. And he placed at the east of the garden cherubim with flame swords turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. He made sure they butt wasn't getting back in there. Because what he said, he tell you later, man became one of us, thinking he knows between good and evil. So he put forth his hand to the tree of eternal life. He wasn't going to allow him to do that. So what he did, he removed them out of the garden, kicked them out of there where his name was, and many will be able thinking they can correct this, and now many think they can correct the Most High out of his own book. Talking about his book having corrections. His books have error, and we need to correct this. So you need to be able to come to us, and we're going to show you how to go through and navigate through his Bible, and we're going to show you what the truth is, and we're going to show you what man doctrine. Didn't he just tell you right in his book? He sat there and said he gathered them with his spirit. But they tell you it got errors. The Most High don't have time to play these kind of games. We're to teach, not charging for it, to where you're going to sit there and get a lie and thinking you're doing good and you're really doing bad. These are the things that you need to run from. When someone teaching you that the Bible got errors, put your shoes off and get to running. They sitting there, the Bible got errors, but I'm going to direct you through it because I know where the errors are. Put your shoes off and get to running. Well, we know ways and better to where we can do this and we can get out of here. This the time. Put your shoes on, get to running. These are the ones that you need to always run from because they say they fear not the Most High. They don't fear him. They there to make money on you. This is what they believe. They believe they can sit there and constantly get over on you by teaching you a lie. We're going to tell you what, the Bible got errors, but we're going to show you what the errors are. Because the Most High talks to me. Satan talks to them. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. Have not I told thee from that time, and I have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. If there is there a Yahweh or God besides me? Yea, there is no God, I know not any. They'll tell you lie after lie, verse after verse, and come and talk about they want to be gods, and you got people telling you they're God. They know what the errors are. They correcting God. See, this is what we need to understand. They correcting him. This is what they say they're going to do. He got an error here. We're going to correct this. Why? Because they think they got this knowledge by doing what? Going in these outside books. Outside books here, outside books there. They're going to all these outside books. They done got so much knowledge, there's wordiness on the flesh, and they done got stupid. Reading and study all these outside books. Now they want to call themselves, I'm a correct God. because his book got errors. I'm going to tell you what, we need to write another book. They got these brothers out there teaching you out the Sefer Bible because this dumb man who done wrote that book then sit there and said he done seen the King James Bible got too many errors. Dumb as ice. And people believe in that man's book. Not Israel. Don't even believe in nothing. But he sees it's a money-making opportunity. See, if his book was solid, you'd be able to download his book for free anywhere. If you just wanted it hardbound, whatever, you had to purchase it. But he don't put it out nowhere. He make you have to buy his book. Then you have even Israel selling you the book to where they get a 10% or 15% cut out of it. See, this is what they do. It's a money-making opportunity for them. They're going to check the Most High. You are challenging the Most High. They're a fool. Job even said that. Shall not he that contended with the Almighty instruct him? You think that's true? You going to contend with the Almighty and instruct him? He that proveth the Most High, let him answer it. Sit around with people talking about how they see they don't fear God. They're going to tell you it got errors. We're going to check this. So you'll contend with the Most High and call yourself checking him, and you answer and you're going to pay for it. These are the false prophets. These are the ones that deceive many. These are the ones that came into the world. These are the ones that even many of them look just like you. Many of them going to be just like us to pull you in. Matthew 24, it always says, for many false prophets shall arise and shall deceive many. You see that? He's letting you know he will bring them and their works into judgment, because he's gonna bring them into judgment. Your money making scheme getting over on his people. See, when all this is all over again, and all we supposed to be doing is teaching what the Most High told us in the Bible, teaching us how we need to obey him, come back to him, what we need to be doing. They sitting there telling you everything outside of the book and teaching you everything when some of them love to teach about these prophecies and don't even know it. Teaching on a dark moon when the moon is bright. Dumb doctrines. And then all your secrets as you taught going to be revealed above all people. He made two great lights, and they tell you, and they teaching you on the dark moon, something that Ashkenazis do. He is the father of light, not the father of darkness. And then they want to use, where David was in the wilderness. They give you these analogies, dumb doctrines. She decreases in her perfection. See, all your secrets going to be revealed to him. Every one of them. Ecclesiastes 12:14. And it says, for Yahweh shall bring every work into judgment, with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So if you're teaching people to study and using false books, or you teaching which is not of the Most High, so many of you that's teaching in Israel that's not even of Israel. See, this is the whole thing. Because you got a lot of people, they say they're Israel, but they're not really Israel. See, I know y'all missed it, but we're going to look at that. See, because these are not the people of the promise. Even though they're the children of Israel, they're not of the children of the Most High. And I know some of y'all not getting that. Let's say, so many are teaching that are of Israel, but not really Israel. And saying these are not of the promise of the children of the Most High. Let's break this down. Let's go to Romans 9. Let's look at this. 9 and verse 6. It says, not as though the word of Yahweh have taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. Really? let's take our time on this. Let's break this down. See, some of us is Israel, but not all of us are Israel, even though we are Israel. You see how Paul plays with this? This is why they tell you, Paul tells you, I speak to them who knows the law. This is why we need to understand what's going on. See, some take his word and it's none effect because what they teach you. So they are not Israel. Even though you see them as Israel, they look like your brother, they act like your brother, they talk like your brother, they walk like your brother, they do everything like your brother, but they're not Israel. These do whatever they do to separate you from your money, from your power, get you into their beds, do everything to go for. They look, dress, smell, everything like Israel, but they're not Israel. Not as though the word of God has taken none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel. This is the problem. This is why they run you into different books, to keep you caught up with them. So you think the only way you can get the truth is coming to them, to where you can believe what they're doing. Study this book, study that book. You want to get closer? Study this book. Study that book. You want to get closer? Study this book, study that book. What's the best study in saying, well, get this commentary, get that commentary. Don't use this commentary, don't use that one. For they are all not all Israel. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham, neither because they are the seed of Abraham. I don't think y'all heard that. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham. Are they all children? But in Isaac shall the seed be called. Y'all catch that? In Isaac shall the seed be called. See, they all say they from the father of Abraham, from the seed of Abraham. They are children, but they're not children of the promise, which is in Isaac, of obedience, and of the promise, which was of the Most High. You see that? Let's say this again. All will say they from our father Abraham and from the seed of Abraham. They are children, but they're not children of the promise, because the promise is in Isaac. The Isaac was through the obedience that was in the promise of the Most High. Chew on that. Chew on it. Swallow it and understand it. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. Y'all missed it. Let me read that again. We're going to break this down again. That is, they which are children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh. Colon. You see that colon there? Because we're going to break that part down. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of Yahweh. Comma. Semicolon. It stops. You can lift this out, but we're going to break that down. Because what this is saying is this. The same as Ishmael was of the flesh. But this is still talking about Israel. But I'm just giving you the analogy to where you can get this. So with this, what's happening here, these are children of the flesh is the same way that you see these are children, the same as of Isaac. And you see Ishmael. Ishmael was made through the flesh. That's what he did. But he promised them that they were going to have a seed, and that seed was going to come through Sarah. So since they didn't think They didn't want to wait long enough and see what was going on. They want to work on their own terms. So what did Sarah do? Sarah brought Hagar to Abraham, and Abraham went into her, had a son. His name was Ishmael. Ishmael sitting there, tripped out. Later on, what happened? Sarah ended up having a child. The child ended up coming up. As the child was being growing up, guess what? Ishmael started acting up with that child, and it got on Sarah's nerve. And Sarah said, "I'll tell you what, you're gonna have that woman and that child. They got to get up out of here." So what he said he gonna do, he gonna be real slick about this. I'm gonna go to the Most High, and the Most High gonna sit there and say that no, we can't get rid of the child, so the child got to stay here. So he went to the Most High. The Most High said, "Listen to the woman." When she gave that harebrained idea, you listen, because that was of the flesh. See, that was your lust, and you went on and did what you had to do. I told you, your son was coming through Sarah. So why did you go into Hagar? You sinned. So now you want me to straighten this out. Go listen to the woman. She want them gone. You go back and you do whatever you got to do, but they can't stay there. She want them gone. They got to go. She played God. You listen. Go back, and that's what she told you to do. You do it. Listen to your wife. Same here. That is, with the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God. Why? Because those are not the children of the promise. Why? Because those children don't sit there and they don't listen. But the children of the promise is counted for the seed of who? The which of Israel. See, these are children of Israel, but you got some that is Israel that not of Israel. See, but the ones that says a promise that are Israel, those are the ones that's counted for the seed. Because you got some going to listen, you got some not going to listen. You got some going to understand and some not going to understand. Because the children of the flesh, just like with Israel, these children of the promise is counted for the seed of the Most High. Flesh worship is same thing. It's fleshly things that are things that you won't worship worldly things. Same thing. Flesh is of the spirit. You're going to worship him in spirit and in truth. Truth. You're going to worship him under righteousness. So we must worship him in what? Spirit and truth. Same as outside resources. These are things that's not of the promise of knowledge. Did he promise you that? Did he tell you, I'm going to give you books for you to study? He said, I'm going to give you one book. And in these, not one of these going to fail. But if you get hung up, I'm going to give you pastors according to my heart to feed you with knowledge and understanding. He goes over to Ephesians 4 and 11 and shows you exactly what they are. This is what's going on. This is why we need to understand it. This is why you're going to get it. Jeremiah 3:15. I will give you pastors according to my heart. Give. For free. He going to pay for it. Which should feed you with knowledge and understanding. He will give you, meaning these people will teach you not only scriptures, but that's all they're going to be teaching you, period. This is to feed the spirit for your understanding and what's required of you, not what's required of man. The Most High has one book, and man has many books. This will keep you in confusion and uncertainty all the time. What do some look like? Let's look at a few of them. See, a lot of them like to run to this. John MacArthur. Bible commentary, pure Gentile. It might be sitting in many people's library, trying to understand the book. Understand what's going on here. And they're going to teach it to you. The Expositor's Bible Commentary. This is written by Ashkenazis. And it's by Zondervan. Zondervan also makes the Satan Bible. This is what people do. The strongest Strongs, Exhaustive Concordance. They love using this. I can show you so many ways they twist you up in this book, but we're going to deal with this on the back end in the Moab. We're going to deal with this book. Because most people think this book is the top of the line book. But we're going to see how Strongest Strongs is. And seeing Strongest Strongs, there you go right there. That's James Strong's right there. That's him. Gentile, who people put all their weight in and say he's the man. That's him right there. Non-Israel, but you guys think he's Israel. Because why? Because you're holding on to his book as truth. Oh, we're going to keep going. The Expositor's Bible Commentary. From Hebrews to Revelation, they have all kind of stuff in it. Whatever your flavor is, they have it. It's nothing you can show them that they won't get. Vine's Complete Expository Dictionary. Really. These are things they're going to get you into. They want to hold on to what you believe. Timbuktu has put many Israelites on the wrong path. They're going to tell you things that has nothing to do with Scripture while they put their story in it. Put their belief in there to get you to run you to anything that is not of the truth. This is what they do. This is how they get you. They inject a little truth and then they inject a lie. Just enough to get the needle in you. And people tie this book to the Bible because he uses Scripture. See, this is the thing that's happening here today, folks. The New Jerome Biblical Commentary. This is what people use. They hold on to these books and they believe these books. You can't beat them. The Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible. And I will show you all day long where you will come up with the wrong understanding based in these books. We're going to be doing some of these in the Moab. Some of these things we're going to show you in the Moab. Why are you going to come up incorrectly? Because you're not using the right book. The same one. Complete Jewish Bible. Jewish. Characteristic. ISH. And people are going to hold to that book. What do you believe? They're going to inject you whatever they can. Zondervan. Look at all these books that come for the one book. All these books came for the one book. From that one book, all this was created. For one book. From one book. So if you can understand the one book, do you know how much knowledge you can gain? And look what they have done from one book. That's what they generated. From one book. So if you understand the one book, understand how your learning will get through, and they generate this. From one book. And all you need is this book. the one book that will show you the truth. That book, many books were generated for that one book. This is what we need to understand. For the one book, we will always understand everything we need to know of the book. We have to understand what this book is about. As long as we understand what this book is, we will get that understanding and always understand why we stay in the one book. Many people like to sit there and always talk about how much they like to study the scriptures. They're always telling you, I like to study the scriptures. I study the scriptures, but then when you get with them, they're in the commentary. Well, I use this as commentary to where I can get a better understanding on what the book is saying. And the book telling you to use precepts.